Hi guys, and welcome back to another video game with the powers. I'm Jake. In today's video, I'll be showing you guys a solo playthrough of the board game Pest. Pest is a 1 to 5 player game, around 60 to 150 minutes, ages 13 plus, and this is coming to you from Archona Games. Now, really quickly, just want to give a shout out to Archona Games. They do have an active Kickstarter right now called Philharmonics. I do believe it has about 24 hours left from the time that I'm dropping this video. So if you do happen to like the mechanics, the gameplay, the production quality of Pest here while watching this playthrough, then definitely take a look at their Kickstarter campaign called Philharmonics. I'll go ahead and drop it down in the description below. But we are here today to take a look at Pest. So let's talk about Pest real quickly. Pest is a Euro-style game where you are taking on the role of a plague doctor. Okay, I'm all black, back in black, baby. We are taking on the role of a plague doctor. We're going around this nation that is infested by a plague or a pest per se, and I will be going from, villages, visiting different villages and cities and towns, and picking up sick people, helping them, getting them back healthy. I'll also be kind of building the infrastructure of the nation by building buildings and different things like that. That is kind of the overall premise of Pest. So let's go ahead and jump down to the table where we got everything set up ready for a solo playthrough. All right, guys, so we are down here at the table where we got everything set up for a solo playthrough. Now, this is a nice table hog like any typical Euro game is, so there is some stuff off camera. Here you might be able to see like a player board and another board over here. I'll get to that in a moment. We got some other stuff over here on the left-hand side off the table, but let's talk about what you can see in view first. I'll kind of bring everything into view at some point, and then we'll go ahead and go with the playthrough. So this is the game board here. Like I said, I have my plague doctor miniature here. We are riding a horse, and the overall premise is I will be traveling along these roads to the different villages, towns, and cities, collecting sick people that are out there, trying to cure these sick people to gain renown and influence, and then also constructing buildings that I have. So I got a castle out right now, constructing other buildings in these different village, city, towns to kind of help build up that infrastructure, okay? So game board you see here, taking a look at these game board, there are different villages is a gray area. They're typically going to be on the outside of the board. You got these towns towards the middle. Okay, these are a dark gray. And then you have cities, which are going to be right next to the capital city, right? And they are a black type. Okay, we also have a bunch of different roads that we're going to be able to travel on. So that's kind of the board. Okay, each village, city, or town that is not destroyed, and I'll get to that in a sec, is going to have a resource value, okay? So whenever I visit these different villages, cities, and towns, I'll be able to generate that resource, or if I build buildings in these village, cities, or towns, I'll be able to generate that resource as well. Now, you might see a bunch of red tokens out on the board. Those are destroyed cities, okay? Those are villages, cities, and towns that have been overrun with the plague or the pest, and I can travel through them and end my turn on them, but they will provide me no resource value, and I cannot build anything in there, okay? On top of that, you might see we got some sick people already out on the board that are starting out, and that person actually was not supposed to be there. We got some sick people already starting out on the board. He was supposed to be right there. And they start in certain towns depending on your player count, okay? I think that is pretty much it. This is the capital city. In the middle, you got some tokens here that whenever I send a delegation to this capital city, I'll be able to claim one of these bonuses. But I think that's pretty much it for the main board you see right here. Let's take a look at the right side of the board. So this is going to be the era board. So Pest is played over 3 eras. Within one era is 2 years or 2 rounds, essentially, okay? So I'm playing over a total of 6 years, broken up into years 1 and 2, years 3 and 4, and years 5 and 6. In each of these years, or eras, there's certain objectives that I want to accomplish. So let's take a look at this first era here. So you have what's called an imperative, something that's happening within the years itself. And this imperative says when I construct in a location with a stone, I will be able to move up on this influence track and renown track. Okay, so that's kind of this era board here is something that I want to be mindful of, because I can move up this track, gain influence, and gain renown at the same time. Okay, then you see at the top part there's what's called an agenda. This is going to happen after the second year. Once this era is over, you would gain that bonus. So I would gain 1 renown for each 2 influence that I have. Okay, so this is what an era card is going to look like. So in era 2, right, our imperative is going to be when you construct in a location with a harbor. The end of era effect is going to be gain 2 renown for each building you have constructed. Okay, and then in year 3, we are going to have outposts when you construct a building that is not adjacent to a location already containing your building. And then the agenda is going to be gain 2 renown for each pair of stone and wood here. So these are objectives that I'm trying to look out to do on top of trying to collect all of these sick people. So there are tracks with sick people on here. Now for this solo mode, the way it's going to work on every board in the game that you have, so there's an era board, an influence board, and a capital city board, which I'll show you all that in a second. There's going to be sick people placed on these. As I move up this board, these sick people are going to be put in the capital city. Okay, at the end of an era, if there are more sick people in the, or healthy people they would be when they get in the capital city, of a neutral player than I do, I get negative renown. Okay, but also at the end of the game, for every sick person that is still on one of these tracks on each of the boards, I will lose 1 victory point as well, lose 1 renown. So I want to focus on these 3 different objectives. So this is the era board and kind of what that is doing as well. Okay, let's take a look at the influence board. Okay, so this is the influence board here. So anytime I gain influence, I will move up this board all the way up the track. Anytime I land on or move past one of these spaces that has these little iconography, I will gain that bonus. So my first influence is going to give me a coin and a research. Now, same thing here. You will see sick people on different spots of this board here. And anytime at the end of the game, however many sick people are here, I will lose victory points for that. So this pretty much is the influence board that's off the table. Whenever I gain influence, I'll bring this into camera view and you will be able to see that as well. All right, the last board we have is the capital city board here. Now, there's nothing on here yet, but I have off screen, I have these individual pieces. You can construct different parts of the capital city by paying the required costs. Now, there are sick people. There are supposed to be sick people on each of these 5 spots here, and these same rules apply. Whenever I construct one of these pieces, that sick person will go into the capital city, and if I do not construct any of these, then I will lose victory points for each sick person in these required spots. So this is over here to the left-hand side of the board as well. The last thing that is off the board, well, actually there's one more thing off the board, which is my player board. We'll get to that in a sec. But the last thing here is we have certain technologies, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and move these technologies up onto the board here, and hopefully you guys will be able to see them. Let me double check. Yep, you guys should be able to see these technologies right here down below on the side of the board. So these are technologies that I will be able to buy throughout the course of the game. Let's take a look at a couple of these technologies here. So this is what a technology card is going to look like. So in the top left-hand corner here, that is going to be the number of research tokens I need to spend in order to acquire this technology. The right-hand side is how much renown this is worth at the end of the game. Also, if I happen to have full up technology, I'm only allowed to have 3. Okay, you're only allowed to have 3 technology in your area. If I need to discard 1, then I would gain a renown for that. This is what the effect does. So this quarantine house says increase your quarantine by 2 spaces. And then some technologies have a requirement whether they need to be put in the top, the middle, or the bottom. Okay, so this is now the perfect time to take a look at my player board here. So you'll see over here on the right hand side there is a top, there is a middle, and there is a bottom, okay? And I'm actually going to smoosh this over here so we can see these technologies. And these would be the respective spaces. So taking a look at my player board here, we have our resources down below at the bottom. We have wood, stone, bread, herbs, and gold coins, okay? You have all these different buildings here that will do different things. We have our healthy population track up here. We got our quarantine section for 3 spots here, and we got the dead people for 3 spots there. So this is what my player board is going to look like right here. Okay, so we are now ready to play Pest. So the very first thing you're going to do is called the Pest and the Aid phase. So there is a deck of cards, okay, that you will build in the setup of Pest cards and Aid cards. Now, normally, guys, they would go on the side over here next to this arrow board, but again, I just got them in little decks off to the side over here. So what you're going to do is draw the first Pest card on the top of the deck, and we're going to go ahead and enact and do what it says. So we have farming villages. This says, as the farm started getting infected by the plague, the townsfolk grew more and more desperate. They had no idea what to do. And as the crops were starting to die, and there was no one left who knew how to farm properly. Okay, so these cards are going to tell us a couple of things. So depending on what era we are in is the amount of sick people that are going to come out. So 1 sick person in era 1, 2 sick people in era 2 and 3, okay? Then the bottom here is going to tell us where we are putting these sick people, all right? So we are in era 1, so 1 sick person is going to go on every village that produces bread and every blue road, okay? Again, if we were in era 2, we would put 2 sick people in every village that produces bread and every blue road, okay? So let's go ahead and do that right now. So we are taking a look at every village that produces bread, okay? So like I said, your villages are typically on the outside. I think that might be the only village that produces bread, because these are stone, that's wood and herb, herb, these are all destroyed. That's stone and boom, okay? Then next, we're going to do every blue road, okay? Now, again, there is a lot of, I don't want to say maintenance, but there is a lot of small roads that get lost in here. So if I happen to miss a village, or if I happen to miss a road, please forgive me, okay? Sometimes these roads can be hidden somewhere, but I think that's all the blue. Boom, 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 boom. We got boom, 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 and boom. Okay, so that was the Pest card, okay? Next, we are going to draw an Aid card. So this is what an Aid card is going to look like. It says Council Aid. The people of Thokaya are suffering from the relentless plague, so the council has decided that the supplying of food and herbs is the most important action at the moment. Those resources will be sent shortly to the affected lands. So you will not get these aids, you will not get this aid right now. You will get it in the following year. Okay, they're going to kind of stack on top of each other. You can see right here at the bottom of this card, these arrows will be pointing down. So the next aid card that I draw will be put on top, and then I will be able to collect these different bonuses. Now, for the solo mode, depending on how many sick people are still on that influence board, is where I'm going to get. So if there are 5 or 6 sick people left on the board, I get the rightmost. 3 to 4, I get the middle. And 1 to 2, I get the left-hand side. All right? So that is the aid card. We're going to do that at the start of every year. Okay? And then now we are ready to take a turn. All right? So let's go ahead and look at the board and see where we're at. So my objective is when I construct in a location with a rock. In order to start the game, you need to select a spot for your castle, which I chose the Soball right here. My castle will automatically produce me wood. So you take a look at my board here. I've put a wood production spot so I know my castle produces that. And then your plague doctor must start in a place adjacent to your castle. So this is adjacent to the city. I am here. So I need to find a spot with stone here. Okay, so I'm thinking we can go here and then maybe work my way over to here. So I'll show you kind of how this works. So let's take a look at my player board here. So I have a 3x3 grid. So what's going to happen is I will select a top action. I will select a side action. I'm going to drop my meeple down in there like this, for example, and I will get both the top action and the left action, okay? I'm gonna give you a brief overview of these actions real quick. This is the harvest action. Basically, this is gonna produce resources from my castle and any buildings that I have out, or maybe sometimes I will have technology that will allow me to produce resources, okay? You would just produce one of each resource unless I have certain buildings. The only building that can produce two is this windmill, which will produce two of that given resource. This is the move action. You can move up to 2 spaces or move to 2 towns. All right, this is the build action. Spend the required resources. I can build up to 2 buildings in my on my player board, or I can build 1 building in the capital city. All right. The side actions, we have the research here. I can able to purchase 1 technology. I can also spend a research token to discard 2 technology from that area you saw earlier and replace them. We have the assign action. So here, I can assign any healthy workers that I have cured to my buildings, okay? Majority of the buildings here, and I can't remember if I've already said it. If I do, I apologize. Most of these buildings must have a worker assigned to them in order to produce that given good, okay? Or I can assign workers to the capital city to get one of those bonuses. The last action you have here is the cure action. So any sick people in my quarantine, I spend the required number of herbs needed, and I can go ahead and cure them. And you can cure as many people as you want on your turn. The first thing that I'm going to do is actually move and cure here, okay? So back to the board here. So I have the opportunity to move. So what I will do is I will move along this road here to terrace. All right, that's my first movement. When you are moving along, whether you start during your turn or end your turn, you have something called a containment camp, okay? You can drop this containment camp down in a city to pick up all the people in the city for free. You can also use it as a spot when you're building. It's treated as if your miniature was there. So I want to build in this spot, but I also want to be somewhere else. You know, I want to try and work my way over to Gofar to build as well. So I'm going to drop this containment camp here. So that was one. I'm going to travel along this road here, and whenever you're traveling along a road, you will pick up a sick person, all right? When on a road, it's going to cost you 1 bread to pick up this sick person. So I will grab this sick person, throw him in my quarantine right there, and then I need to spend 1 bread in order to do so. And then this will end me in the town of Blesser, okay? So that is 1 full movement. Wherever you end your movement in, if there is a town that produces a resource, you will gain 1 of those resources here. So I will gain 1 bread, all right? So that is the full move action. Now to the cure action, what I would do is spend the required number of herbs I need in order to cure this sick person. So I need 1 herb. Okay, spend 1 herb, and this person is now cured, all right? Now, with this healthy population track, what I can do is assign these healthy people to buildings. Also, if I have enough healthy workers, at the end of the game, they're going to score victory points. So you got 3, 5, 8, 12, 15, 18, 20, and 23 for the number of spots that I have filled up. But also, depending on how many I have, if they're at a certain point in the track, so 3 or 5 or 8, etc., I will also produce research tokens, okay? So that's kind of an objective for me as well, is I want to fill this up and produce some of these extra research tokens. So that was my first action, okay? So I will take 1 more action, and then that will be the conclusion of the year here. So the next action that I think I'm going to take is the build and research action, okay? So let's do the research action first. So like I said, we have a bunch of different technologies here, and we'll go ahead and bring them close. So right now we have a steel horseshoe. So when you move, you may move 2 additional locations, all right? We got a quarantine house, increase your quarantine by 2 spaces. We have a breathing apparatus. So when you collect a sick person from the map, you can place one on this card. When you play the research or cure action, move that sick person one space to the right. So after 3 of these, I get a free sick person, which is really good. We got storage containers here. Increase the storage of one resource by 2. And then we have the production line, which is when you produce, your castle produces 2 resources of that same type. All right. So really for me, look, that steel horseshoe is nice, right? You get 4 movement. I really don't need these storage containers, really don't need the quarantine house. I would like this production line for 2. Right now, it's either the breathing apparatus or the steel horseshoe. You know what? It's going to be crazy. I don't see myself... I see myself focusing a lot on building, which means I'm not going to have a lot of herbs. So I think what I want to do is actually get this breathing apparatus, okay, so that I can try and get more sick people healthy, okay? So I will purchase this breathing apparatus. I'm going to need to remove 1 research, okay? And this is going to go in the top slot of my board right there. Okay, so that was the research action. We'll need to draw a new technology. So we have storage pods, okay? When you produce, you gain the resources from the location of your, of your meeple. Whoa, that is a good one as well. I definitely need that, okay? So that was the research action. So now we have the build action here. So let's see. I have 1 stone, 1 rock. Okay, so I will build this building here for 2 wood. So that's 1 wood. A gold coin counts as a wild. So we will spend a 2nd gold coin. All right, make sure we're queued up there. Sorry about that. And then we're going to build this building right here. So this building is going to take the place of my containment camp. When you do this, your containment camp is going to go back to your player board over here. What you will then do is take one of these small miniature resource tokens, drop it in there to let you know that this building you have out is a stone producer. Whenever you build a building, depending on the village, town, or city, you will gain influence points. So the influence points are going to be the number of white, like, I don't call them hashes, blocks above that actual city. So in a multiplayer game, it's going to be the first building there will gain it, and then every building after that will subsequently get less. But since in the solo, I'm the first one every time. I'm building in terrace here. This gives me 2 influence on my board. Okay, so take my board. We're going up 1 and 2. I pass this, so I get a research token and a coin. Okay, so let me get a coin. So I'm back up to 2 there, and then we get another research token. Okay, so that is 1 full year here of Pest. So now what I'll do is I will come back and collect my workers. All right, and then we will get ready for year 2 with the Pest and Aid phase. So we will draw a new pest card from the deck here, and let's see what it says. Logging camps. The logging camps suffering from the plague are in the process of being shut down. The workers are being moved to new camps, and their equipment is being packed up and shipped away. The only thing left behind is the lumber, which is now rotting in the forest. So 1 sick worker in every village that has wood and gray road here. Okay. So 1 sick worker in every village that produces wood. If I do have a building or my own meeple is in a village with wood, I have to take that sick person. So this sick person would go here on the village. So I will take that sick person onto my player board. Before I do that, let me get the rest of the board set up here. So any other villages with wood? I don't think so. I think that's the only one right there. We got 2 stone. So stone is over here, herb, wood, herb. That's bread, rock, and that is herb, rock, okay? So now we're going every gray road is getting one sick person. Every gray road gets one sick person. So gray there, gray there. Okay, we got a gray right here. Okay, gray right there. And gray here. I'm trying to put them next to the actual thing so I know. Gray there. Okay. I believe that is all of the grade rows. We got boom, 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 boom. Okay, so I need to take this sick person and put them in over here. So that was the pest. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the council aid card here. Okay, so after careful consideration of the current pest situation, the council has decided to provide aid packages of additional resources to 3 of the houses for the next season. We believe these resources will provide the necessary boost to prevent the plague and bring us one step closer to returning to normal life. So this was the previous aid card that we had. So we can see there the bonuses that I'm going to get depending on the number of sick people I still have on the track is going to be the herb. Okay, so I still have 4 to 6 people. I still have 5 to 6 people on my influence board, so I will generate 1 herb, bringing me up to 2. All right, so now we are ready for year 2 of the game. All right, so I want to try also really quick. I just realized when I constructed, I forgot to move up on this track. So I would move up on this track. This sick person here would go into the capital city. We'll have the neutral player be blue. And I would also move up 1 additional influence here. 1 additional influence, bringing me up to 3. Okay. So what I want to do is try and get over to Gothar here and build in Gothar. So I think what I need to do is move. I will move and assign, okay? Move and assign. So whenever you move through the capital city, it's free. So that would be a free move right there for 1. And you know what? I'm going to drop my containment camp down here, okay? Drop my containment camp down there. And that's 1. And then we're going to go to Galayar right here. I will need to pick up this sick person. Okay, so I'll need to spend a bread for 1 and pick up a sick person. And we're going to put that guy on the apparatus. Yeah, we want to put him on the apparatus. Maybe, actually, no, I'm not going to put him on the apparatus. I will only put somebody on the apparatus when I really, really need to, starting that next round. So, that was my full move. So again, moving through the capital city is free. Okay, so that would be 1, and then I picked him up for 1 bread and my spot and 2. So I will gain 1 herb. Okay, so I'm at 3 herbs there. I drop my containment camp there. And then my next move is assign. So I will assign this healthy worker to this building. So now when I take this harvest action, I can produce a stone. All right. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to build and cure. Okay. We're going to build and cure. So I think what we're going to do first is build. So I got a stone building over here. You do not have to build in order. Okay. So we're going to go with the same thing. So I will spend 1 stone and 1 coin as stone to produce this building. All right. We are going to build this here in Gothar in place of my containment camp. My containment camp is going to come back to me. And we got another stone area right there producing stone. So I am the first one to have built in Gothar right there. That is in a city. Okay, so I get to move up 3. So we go 1, 2, and 3. So this sick person is going here. And I collect 1 and 2 technology tokens. All right, so now I'm at 3. That sets me up really nicely for the next era to be able to score some points. Okay, I also worked on this imperative here, so I moved up 1 spot on this. This sick person goes into the track, and then I also move up 1 more on my influence board, so I'm now at 7 there. Okay, so those are both my actions. That is the end of year 2, so I would collect both of my meeples there. And we are now at the end of the first era, so we would go ahead and score this top agenda right here. So gain 1 renown token for each 2 influence that you have. Okay, so what I would do here is taking a look at my board here. So I have 7, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll gain 3, right? Yep. So 3, a 3 token. Let me grab a 3 token. We got a nice 3 token right here. We're gonna drop this over there. So I'll gain 3 victory points for that. Now we also have to take into effect the capital city here. So there are 3 healthy people on this side. I have none, so I must take a -3, okay, a -3 token to kind of balance that out. These people are going to go away. Okay, so that is 1 full era in Pest. So now what would happen is we'd move to the second era. So our second era, again, if you guys remember, so our imperative is whenever we construct in a location with a harbor, we move up the track. And then I will gain 2 renown for each building that I have constructed during this turn. I would also gain an extra worker. So now I get an extra worker for me to be able to do that. And then we're ready to start with the pest in the aid phase. So let's go ahead and take a look at the new pest card coming out here. So we have forest villages. The forest villages have seen a lot of devastating effects from the plague. The people there had no idea what was happening when they started getting sick. Within weeks, nearly everyone was either very sick or dead. We must protect our vast woodland from the plague. So every village that has an herb and every gray road is now getting 2 sick people on it. 2 sick people on it. All right, oof, that's going to be a lot. That is a rough one indeed, okay? So I believe that is getting 2. All right. Whenever a city, town, or village during the pest phase gets 4 or more sick people added to it, okay, that village is going to become destroyed. All right. And then what would happen is every city, town, or village adjacent to that one would gain a sick person. All right, so we are doing gray roads. So those are all of the roads. Okay, aid card. What are we getting here? Council aid. All right, the council aid. The pest has left much of the empire in ruins. Infrastructure is in very poor condition, as well as the people's homes. The council will give out restoration packages consisting of timber and stone to the houses in order to help the restoration efforts of the crumbling infrastructure. Remember, I'm not getting this one. I am getting either one of these 3 resources from the previous year here. So there is still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is still 5 out there, so I will gain 1 bread. Okay, so I would gain 1 bread. So now I'm up to 2. And we are now ready to take my turn. So this is constructing in a harbor, okay? So I got 2 harbors here. All right, we got some harbors up there. I really don't need stone as much anymore. So I think what I want to do is work my way up there. You know, herbs are pretty nice. I do have this storage pod that I really want to get. So I think that's what I'm going to do. My first action, we're going to do a move and technology action. So we'll do the technology action first. I think what I'm going to do is do the storage pods, okay? So you can only buy 1. So the storage pods, when I produce, I will gain the resource from the location of my miniature. We're going to go ahead and put that guy in the middle. All right, we'll slide him in there. All right, we're going to go ahead and put him in the middle, get rid of one of my research tokens, and then now I can move. Okay, so I can move up to 2 spaces. Ooh, maybe I should have bought that steel horseshoe. Let's see this next technology. We got a quarantine tent. Increase your quarantine by 1 space. Okay. I don't think I'll be able to make it up to the harbor to be able to build in that harbor. But look, I get sick people along the way, so that might be worth it. So we did the move, so we're gonna move through this one. We're gonna move into Milasar here. All right, I will pick up this sick person. We'll go ahead and drop him in that quarantine slot, and I also gain a bread. All right. So that was my first one. My second one, let's move and cure. All right. Let's move and cure. So we're gonna go another 2. Well, I'm gonna go 1 and 2 up here to Wibro. All right, now the first person I get to pick up for free. The next person will cost me 1 bread. All right, so the first person I get for free. Oops, I'm all over the place. The next one will cost me 1 bread. So now my quarantine is full, right? So what I must do now is put them in one of these 4 spots. These are going to hinder my actions or hinder me able to produce a 5th resource. Sorry for that, guys. So I'm going to put it there so I cannot gain a 5th resource of any type. But that's okay. Don't really need that right now. So that was the move action. I'm going to drop this containment camp down in Winbro there. Okay. And we will now take the cure action. So you can cure as many people as you're able to. So this is going to be a 1. All right. So we'll cure this guy for 1. I need to spend another 1. Oops. To cure this guy. Okay. And then that's another 1. So we'll drop down to 3 and we will cure all 3 of these people. Now, taking a look at this breathing apparatus, when you play the research that's cure, I can move this 1 space to the right. All right. So I have played the cure action. I actually played the research action earlier as well. So that would be 1, 2. Okay, I think, yeah, so I forgot to do that earlier. So that would be 2 spots moving over, okay? So that's my cure action. I can move this guy up here freely, and that was my second action in totality. Okay, my third action. I think it might behoove me to cure, to produce actually, because I could get a wood, a stone, and a herb, and a research, but let's see, is there any other buildings? Yeah, I can't build any buildings right now. Where I'm at, I could move there and build there next turn in a harbor to get another stone, which maybe I might do that so I can move and assign. That could work, and then I could research the next time. I think that's what I'll do. My last action, let's move and assign. Okay, so we'll move down here to 1. I can move up to 2. So this would generate me a stone. All right, generating a stone. Assign. I will assign this guy to this building there, which will produce me, I'll be able to produce another stone when I'm ready. So those are all 3 of my actions for this year. So that is year number 3 is up. All right, let's go ahead and draw another pest card here. Hopefully, I'm about to get hit with a lot of plague stuff. We got quarry villages. As the disease spread in the mountains, a small community of stone miners and their families were the first to fall victim. The fever was unlike anything they had ever seen before, and it quickly killed most of those who contracted it. So every village with a stone, every blue road is getting 2 sick people in it. All right. So every village with stone. So we got 1, 2 right here. Village with a stone, 1, 2. Any other villages with stone? I know that one. Okay, and then myself. So I will need to take 2 sick people, and let's go over to my board here and place 1 sick person And we're going to place another sick person there. Okay. Now we need to do every blue road. I do believe that is every blue road. All right. Next, we're going to take a look at the aid card in the next era. So this aid card, council aid. The council has decided to send a large stone shipment to one of the houses. It needs the most. Food shortage is looming the empire. The food shortage is looming the empire, so the council has decided that some of the food stock should be given to the houses. All right, so my next one that was right above it was this one previously, so it looks like I am gaining 1 wood. All right, so we are gaining 1 wood, which is actually very, very helpful. All right, let's go ahead and start the year. The very first thing I want to do is I want to produce and I want to research. Okay, so I'm going to do produce or harvest research. I'm going to take the research action first. Okay, when I take the research action, this guy moves over to the right. He now becomes a healthy worker that I get to put in this slot for free. Okay, I will also spend 2 research tokens here. And we are going to get the production line, all right? When I produce, my castle produces 2 resources of the same type there, okay? Now, we will take the harvest action. So we're going to produce everything that has a worker assigned or anything that is on the side of my board here. So I get 1 wood from my castle. I'll get an additional wood from my castle for this production line, and that's off screen, I know. So I would be up to 3. Okay. I would get a stone here because I do have a worker assigned. I get another stone because I do have another worker assigned to there. And then taking a look at the board, I will get 1 more stone because I have in the storage pots, I produce what is in the location of my miniature. All right, so now I am locked, stocked, and loaded here. Okay, so I think the next action I'm going to take is the build and, ooh, I don't have any herbs. Shoo. I should have built, I made a mistake. I should have built first and then did that. Okay. I will build and assign. Okay, so I can build up to 2 buildings. All right, which I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna take this building here first. So that's 3 stone. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, we're gonna put this in the location of Winborough. All right, so I'll get my containment camp back. Winborough is an herb. Okay, so we will put a herb there. That's my first building that I'm going to build. Let's go ahead and get the rewards. So I will move up 1 spot here, 1 spot on the influence track. Okay, I have constructed in a location with a harbor there. So red and a blue harbor. So I'll move up 1 space on this track. This sick person goes into capital city. I will now move up 1 additional influence. So this sick person is coming into the city. Okay, so that was my first building. My second building I'm going to choose is, I think we're going to go this building right here. So let's go 2 wood. So that's 1, 2, and 1 stone. We'll build this building in the spot where I'm at in Bimmers. Okay. So I will need to produce a stone. Okay, so I need to grab a stone. I'm grabbing a lot of stone here. That'll be a stone. So this will move me up 1 spot again. 1 spot again on the influence track. Okay, this will score me 1 victory point at the end of the game. Woohoo! I also constructed in a harbor again. Okay, so this sick person will go in there. And I move up 1 spot on the influence track again, getting me 1 gold coin. Okay, so now I'm at 2 gold coins. All right, so that was my build action. Now I can assign, also I gain a research token for producing. I forgot about that during that production phase. Now I can assign, so we will assign these 2 healthy workers to that spot. Hoo-wee. I forgot to also draw a new technology. Sorry, we got an infirmary here. So when you collect from the map, you can place 1 on this card. When you play research/cure, move the sick person 1 space to the right. This only has 2. Wow. I definitely need to get that and replace it with that apparatus. Okay, so I think what I need to do, I have 1 action left in this year. Okay, so this is actually the last era. This will be the end of the era here. So really, I'm not going to be able to build anywhere else. I think I really just produce and maybe cure. Maybe see. Well, yeah, I think I'll just stay where I'm at. I will go over to my board and harvest and cure, okay? So we'll harvest first. So my castle will produce me 2 wood, okay, because of my production line. I get 1, 2, 3 stone. So 1, 2, 3 stone. I get 1 herb, okay? And then I get an additional stone right there for the spot that my miniature is at. So I am 3 and 4, okay? Now we'll take the cure action here. So I just need to spend 1 herb. I will spend a gold coin as an herb to do that. And I actually should have done it in reverse. I should have cured first, and then, but I wouldn't have been able to do that. I'd have to spend both my gold coins. That's okay. So sometimes the order matters. You can see how the order can definitely matter. So 2, okay, nothing there. So that is my final action. Okay, so I would take all of my workers back, right? We would gain my 4th and final worker as we head into the last year. We would take a look at this agenda right here. So gain 2 renown tokens for each building you have constructed. Okay, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4 buildings constructed. So I would gain 8. All right, I would gain 8 renown tokens there. And there's 3 guys in the capital city. I have 0, so I'm getting hit with a -3 token for that. Okay, so that is the end of the 2nd era. And we will now move into the final era here. So Pest card on the way. Let's see what we got. Quarry villages. The Empress has ordered evacuation of the quarries due to the outbreak of the plague. Without the quarries, the only way to get stone is by traveling out of the capital city and trade for it. This will be a difficult task as the plague has already spread to many of the surrounding areas. So stone and village with a stone and village with a stone and red roads, okay? So village with a stone, okay? So that's going to get destroyed. And this is going to get destroyed as well, okay? So destroyed cities, again, once they have 4 or more, they become destroyed, and then any town or village, city adjacent to them gets destroyed as well. All of these are not get destroyed. Every town or city or village adjacent to the destroyed town, city, or village will gain 1 sick worker or sick person. These are already destroyed. Destroyed cities, villages, and towns do not gain excess sick people. So this would get 2. Okay, so I would have to take 2 into my area. This up here would get 2 and become destroyed. All right, everything adjacent to it via roads is there's no road connecting that, so that will not get a sick person. And that is all of the villages. So now we're going red roads. Okay, I do believe that is all the red roads that are in the game. Okay, so now let's take a look at the aid card. All right, the council aid, what are y'all giving me? So following a thorough assessment of the ongoing pest crisis, council has concluded that it will distribute aid packages consisting of extra resources to 3 of the houses for upcoming season. We are confident that these additional resources will help mitigate the spread of the plague and accelerate our journey back to normalcy. All right, so we are back up to here, okay? So I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, so I will get the middle the middle bonus, which is 1 extra stone. So I now got 5 stone, all right? Okay, so starting off, you know what? I might get wild. So this is when I construct a building that is not adjacent to a location already containing a building and gain 2 for each pair of that and that. We'll just do move and assign, okay? So move and assign will go 1, end up 2 there. Okay, so that will give me 1 bread, bringing me up to 4. Assign, I can assign any of these workers anywhere that I would like. And you know what? I'll assign one of them to the capital city. Okay, and I think I will take the bonus of a gold coin. I like that free wild resource. Okay, so that was move and assign. Next, we will build. And let's build and cure, okay? Let's build and cure. So I'm going to build this harvester or this windmill. Okay, so that's 3 stone or 3 wood bringing me down. That's 2 stone. Okay, build this harvester in the Milasar here. Okay, so he is going to be producing bread. Okay. And then what we need to do, okay, so that was that. So let's run this. So that's 2 influence. So I get to go up 2 on the influence track. All right, and then I have constructed a building, okay, that is not adjacent to a location already containing one of my buildings. So I'll get to move up 1 more on the track. Okay, is there any other building that I can construct? I could construct another one of these, but I don't have a containment camp down, so I can't do that. Okay, so that was that action right there. All right, my next action I want to take is going to be, I might as well produce and or move. So that'd be 3 bread. I could take all those guys on the road. Or I can move here. Let me see, is there a pathway? Yeah, that might be easier. So I will move and let's move cure, okay? Let's move, well, not to say I don't have any. Yeah, let's move and cure. Let's do this. Move cure. All right, so we will move through here. So I need to spend 2 bread, okay, to pick these guys up. So I'm down to 2 bread. I'm gonna put 1 there and 1 guy there, okay? I will stop at this location. Yep, I'm just gonna stop here. So this will give me an herb. Cure action. I can spend an herb. We are gonna cure that guy. This moves over 1. Okay, my last action that I have available to me is let's produce and assign. So let's assign first, okay? So we're assigning first. That's what I want to do, assign him there. Okay, I can assign somebody to the capital worker as the capital city as well to gain a bonus, which I think I will. Let's assign to the capital city. I'm going to gain an herb, okay, as a bonus. So that's that assign action. Now let's produce. So I get 2 wood. Okay, 1, 2, 3 stone. I'm maxed out at 5. I get 1 bread and I get another herb. Okay, so those are all 4 of my actions in year number 5. And now we will go to the last pest card here that we have available to us. And farms stricken with disease lost their crops and livestock, leaving the owners with nothing to sell or trade. Many people were out of work and homeless as they had no money to pay for food or a place to stay. For many people, the only option was to leave their homes and start a new life elsewhere. So, farms with bread and red. Okay, so we have villages with bread. okay, are getting 2 workers. So villages with bread. Is there any villages with bread? This is the only one I think that's left. Boo boo. Boop boop. Destroyed. Nope. Okay. So now all villages are all red. So, and I believe that is all the red roads that we have done. Okay, real quick, something I realized, my windmill here produces 2 of that same good, so I'm at 4 bread. Okay, aid card. This aid card does not really matter that we draw. We're just going off this last one right here. So I still have 4 left, so I will gain an herb. Okay, so I will gain 1 herb, bringing me to 3. Okay, I'm actually in a really good spot here. So really what I want to try and do is move out and construct maybe another building and go from there. So let's move and cure. Okay, so move to the capital city for free. Move there. I'm going to, move there, drop my containment camp, and I'm going to move into the town of Tasevski, okay? I'm picking up 3 guys, so that's 1, 2, 3 bread. I'm going to put 1 there, and 1 on my move action. I gain a wood for being able to do that, okay? And now we are doing the cure action, okay? So cure action, I will spend 1 herb, cure this guy, spend another herb, cure this guy, and I will spend 1 herb and a coin to cure this guy, and he will move over 1 spot, okay? Next action, we will build and research, okay? Build and research. All right, so we will build this bad boy for 4 and 3, okay? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 3 wood. Get this bad boy out. I'm going to put him right here in the city of Bristol. Get my containment camp back. So I automatically gain 3 influence. So that's 1, 2, and 3. This guy goes into the capital city. I get 2 research tokens for doing this. All right, I did work on completing this, and he will go there, which would net me another influence because this is constructed in a location that is not adjacent to containing one of my buildings. All right, can I construct anything else? No, there is nothing else I can construct. We will now do the research action, okay? So let's see, what is another, am I going to be able to get 4 wood? I am not. So what I might do is I will spend, what's something that I can get quickly in need of? I will spend 1 and grab a steel horseshoe. So I will trade in 1 research token for a steel horseshoe. So I must destroy one of these buildings. I will get rid of my production line here. Grab this steel horseshoe. So this will net me 2 victory points right now. So let me go ahead and grab 2 tokens. Drop them down there. I did the research action. So he is finished. And he gets placed right there. Okay. 3rd action. What do I have? So can I build another building somewhere? Ooh. And go up 1 more spot on the track and gain, well, actually 2 pairs will net me. So I think the last thing I want to do is coin. I actually need a coin for that. Let me get a coin for production. So I have 2 turns left. I think this is just about generating enough resources to be able to move up on a track here. This is a tough one. This is a tough one, guys. I think what I do is we produce and let's produce and research again. I can just keep cycling these whatchamacallits. So let's produce. So I only get 1 wood. Okay, 1 wood. I get 1, 2, 3 stone. So I should be at 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I get 1 herb. I get 1 bread. And I get an additional wood for my storage pods. Okay, so that's my production. Okay, I then will get to research. So I will buy for 2. I think for 2, I'm going to buy that infirmary. Okay, 2, buy the infirmary and swap it out. Okay, just for points. This is going to net me 1. All right, it's going to net me 1 victory point. Okay. And that is that full action. And then the last thing I think I just do is maybe produce again and just get 8 victory points. I don't see produce and cure maybe. So I'd be capped out at 5. I get 1 bread. I get 2 wood for there and then the spot that I'm on. And I get 1 herb. Okay, so that is all for my actions. So now we would come here to this agenda. So for game 2 for each pair of rock and wood. So I have 4 apiece. So that's going to be 8. I will net another 8 victory points for that. Okay, we go to the capital city here. So there's 1 difference. So I only take a 1 renown token. So that is the end of that era. That is the end of the capital city, and that is a full playthrough of Pest. So now what we're going to do, guys, is we will go ahead and score. Okay, let's go ahead and score and see what we got here. So I got the mat. Let's see. I'll do scoring right here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to count is renown tokens, which are these. Okay, so this is 5, 10, 3, 3, 6, 9. So that's 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, so 22. Just to make sure you guys know I'm not cheating. All right, so 22 from that. Okay, perfect. Next, we are going to the imperative track, okay? These are these tracks right over here. So every one that's below me and one I'm on. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, okay? So that's going to be 12 right there. Next, my healthy population track, which is right here. So I am at 5. All right, so we got 5 there. Next are buildings, okay? So these buildings are going to get you some victory points. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 2, so that's 5, 6. That's 4, so that's 10. If I complete an entire column, I get additional. That's 11, 12, and that's going to be an additional 4 right there. So that is 16. All right, so that's 16 points right there. Now we got from our research tokens. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and 6. Just so you guys can see, 5 and 6. All right, boom, boom, boom. We are at 6. Next, we have on the influence board. Let me bring this out here. Influence board, every spot that I pass. So that's 1, 2. So I'm getting 2 from the influence board, all right? Okay, guys, so next we got the resources. So you gain 3 renown for every combination of 3 resources you have left over, okay? So I'm at 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so divided by 3 is basically 12. So 12 divided by 3 is 4. 4 times 3. So basically I get 12. Okay. So I think that's right? My math is right on that. 12. Coins, you get 1 point for every 1 coin left over. And then my negative renown, okay? So we have 6 right here, okay? So that's 7. So 7 renown left over. Taking a look at this imperative track, that's 8, that's 9, that's 10, or that's the arrow board, that's 10. This is 11, 12, and 13. Okay, and then taking a look at this, is 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. All right, so I'm minus 18 renowned, like that. And now what we will do is add up all of the points, and we'll get... All right, guys, so our final score is going to be 58. All right, I do think I messed my math up on that, the resources end, but for the solo mode, it says if we are 46 plus, we are a emperor. I don't think that I should have crushed it that high. So, you know, even if we subtracted the 12 from that, we would be at 46. So we would be still at the emperor threshold, even with a 0 for our final resources. All right, guys. Well, look, that is a lengthy playthrough, but I hope you guys did enjoy Pest. I really do like Pest. It's a cool Euro, a different thematic theme with all the sick people going out. The game does sometimes feel like more of a buildings type game than actually healing sick people, as you saw with this playthrough. I barely healed any sick people, picked up any sick people, just built building the whole time, and I was able to basically gain emperor status in terms of points. So I do wish it does come down to those error cards a lot. There are certain error cards that will have you prioritize these sick people a lot more, but I just wish that in general, no matter what those error cards did, you would still just prioritizing grabbing those sick people and healing them, because that is the theme of the actual game. But I hope you guys enjoyed this content. If you did, smash that like button, hit that notification bell. And if you own Pest, or if you have played Pest, drop down in the comments below what are your thoughts on the game. And as always, guys, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and subscribe so we can keep bringing you more awesome content. All right, guys, have a great one. Bye.